One final championship to be given out here at the JW Marriott Desert Ridge Open. It's men's pro singles, Ben Johns versus Federico Staksrud, a rematch from just a few weeks ago at the Hyundai Masters event. So Cameron Irwin alongside Dave Fleming, I think first and foremost I have to ask, what can Fed do against Ben Johns?
Well, he's had 3 cracks at him and hasn't been able to get him in their brief history against each other. I think, again, as we've talked about the folks coming in here as underdogs, and he's certainly an underdog in this match, is to play loose and play aggressive and see if that formula can get him out the door. We'll find out after this. We're going to run some commercials, and then first ball of our final match on Championship Sunday will be coming your way.
Federico Staksrud taking on the #1 seed and Ben Johns, the #1 player in the world to be exact. This, of course, is the JW Marriott Desert Ridge Open presented by Foot Solutions. Cameron Irwin alongside Dave Fleming. And Dave, you gave us a quick rundown in terms of Federico and Ben in their last meeting. It was 11-6, 11-6 towards Ben Johns. But Ben is also very warmed up to this point. That's got to be even tougher on Federico Staksrud.
Yeah, Staksrud is getting more and more Sunday opportunities, but you've been sitting here all day. You have no idea when you're going to be on, too. You don't know how long these matches are, so when do you warm up? When do you eat? That is a lot of a challenge for being last match on Championship Sunday, and then you have to play a guy that is going to be plenty fresh enough. He has played very well, but wasn't pushed to 5 games in either of his 2 gold medals so far. So he's going to just have to let the nerves loose, play aggressive, and go get him and see what happens.
Game 1.
Well, we will see what happens. The final championship here on Sunday on the Carvana PPA Tour. Tough first serve. We talked about it in the women's final, how important the serve is, especially in the game of singles.
Yeah, and Ben's going to be cracking it all day long. He knows that.
As a reminder, this singles final will be played 2 out of 3, even though our doubles finals were played 3 out of 5.
See, he ran out of red shirts. He went to the blue for the singles final here, did Ben Johns.
Side out.
Some net love for Staksrud.
Yeah, love seeing the international. We talked about the Canadian Catherine Parento, Buenos Aires, Argentina, for our man Federico Staksrud. More and more countries being represented on the tour. I love it.
Side out.
To your point, ranked in the top 10 in Argentina's U18 rankings, reaching as high as number 7.
A lot of tennis coming your way from this. That's a very good tennis country right there.
Side out.
So we talked about this a lot in the women's match. Take angles away by returning middle and deep even better. That's a perfect ball from Staksrud there.
He earns his first, the #3 seed. He's number 5 in terms of men's singles rankings on the Carvana PPA Tour. JW Johnson just above him, as is Jay DeVilliers in that 3 spot. Continuing to pepper the backhand is Staksrud.
That's a beautiful job there. You mentioned DeVilliers. That's who he beat to get here. He won in 3 against him. That was a great win for him. So a confident player coming in here.
On the full out stretch, and one name too missing from this Desert Ridge Open is that of Tyson McGuffin, who had to pull out with a minor foot injury. He is the #2 ranked singles player on the Carvana PPA Tour.
The other challenge, Cameron, for these players is singles is played on Thursday. Then you play a whole bunch of doubles, and then you have to come back and find your singles game again. That is not easy at all.
And that ball is gone.
Yeah, Ben is going to be very comfortable in what we call the cat and mouse points when they're up at the kitchen together. He has so many tricks to throw at Staksrud and those ridiculous hands we've seen all day in the doubles.
keeping the ball solely focused on the backhand side of Ben Johns, but nice recovery there.
Just so good, and then he feels very comfortable and in control when he can do that. And Ben is also targeting Staksrud's backhand on the volleys, fears that a lot less than the forehand. Good start for Ben Johns here in game number 1. Now drives one. So if you've hit a whole bunch of backhands, you're expecting it there, and just a little late with the paddle for Staksrud. And dangerous territory for him right here. This is quickly 6.
Staksrud, nice move along the kitchen line.
I mean, with a name like Fed, you better be good at tennis, right? Come on.
And just up and over the left shoulder for Ben Johns.
Such smart court coverage, because he ran with his paddle in ready position. Didn't have to do anything at the end. It was there and just took that ball into the open court.
He's almost baiting Ben to go back to that cross court and anticipating it, just not the contact he was looking for.
Yeah, and Ben can hit a devilishly little short, shallow roll over there, and couldn't get that up and over. Could Staksrud.
Staksrud just turns away. He goes, yeah, there's no way. You're welcome.
Don't see that very often, but and he had a very good deep return. The blast from Johns with the third was terrific.
Side out.
Staksrud having found pickleball not long ago. Lots of people talking about him being a singles specialist, and clearly he is very good at it, having found back-to-back finals. But he also has improved in his doubles game as well, significantly.
In a big way, big way. Definitely made that singles, but he and Pablo Tejas was a tough team here, and I expect even more from him, because he's starting to be able to win some of this cat and mouse just hanging with Ben. Those are doubles traits that we're seeing in his singles, and all the blasts and the groundies from the baseline will benefit him obviously as well. Just needs to learn the chess part of the game at the kitchen line.
High on the backhand side, Ben looks for the angle, too sharp.
And I've seen in the first 2 singles finals of the year, Ben having a lot of conversation with himself. He is really engaged in these singles finals.
Side out.
Tough. Ball just about the height of Federico Staksrud's knee.
Yeah, and that's what he loves to do, drop the ball and come crashing in there. Not let his opponent off the hook, just didn't make that one.
And that's the shot you were referring to, cuffing that ball and cutting it all the way back cross court.
Yeah, it's the magic power, one of several this man has, and that's what differentiates him here. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Staksrud had a good read, tried to go for the Ernie.
Yeah, and then when you're playing with a guy that's been tracking stuff down, you go for a little too much and you miss, and we are very quickly at a game point here.
Side out.
Ben rolling his eyes at himself here with the missed serve.
3-10.
Make it 4 points for Federico Staksrud. There's the cat and mouse.
And there's what Staksrud's known for, is he gets the ball down and then is on you. Right here, comes in. That is not an easy ball to attack, and he puts Ben behind.
pushing that ball back is Ben Johns. Another shot at game point.
Yeah, missed his serve on his first try. We'll see if he can at least get the point started. I like his chances.
Somehow Ben gets that ball back. A wild bounce and a fantastic finish for game number 1.
I mean, he is in complete jail on this point. Staksrud can't believe that one ball came back in, and then Ben Johns finishes cross court right there with a beautiful cut. Ben Johns looking very strong on his way to a triple crown. We'll see if he finishes it in 2 after this. That'll be fun to go out and see where these new players come from. You know they're coming, and as an amateur player, you can come play next to them and say, I was the one, like last year, who saw Anna Bright play in her very first pro tournament. Who's the Anna Bright of this year, and who is the 3-5 amateur that got to play right next to her? That's the opportunity you have on the PPA Tour.
Yeah, you can come out, play yourself in one of these fantastic events. Amateur division just continues to grow. 1,124 total participants here at the JW Marriott Desert Ridge Open. This is our final championship on the day. Ben Johns versus Federico Staksrud. Johns with the first game, 11-5.
Tremendous start here for Staksrud. 3 quick ones.
3-0.
Exactly what he needed.
Side out.
Great placement and reach from Ben Johns, who is looking for a triple crown.
Yeah, it was that next ball that Staksrud had a good look at to get down and get up to the kitchen, but left it too high.
Side out.
You hear Federico encouraging himself.
Absolutely.
3-0.
He has the tools to really push Johns, and if he wants to give it to him, he'll take that also.
Tons of pace coming off the paddle of Federico
4-0.
Staksrud. Also working with the Yola. And again, he's just adding one after another. We just saw in the women's singles final Catherine Parento push Annalie Waters, picking up the second game.
It's almost the same match, just men versus women. Just a reset, put the pedal down, a couple of little errors on the other side, and you look up and you're like, wait a minute, that says 5-zip. Well, that's what it is.
Ben Johns earns the ball back.
Can't do it.
And a loose error.
1-5.
And it's just so frustrating when you're in those moments. The ball hits the top of the net. You try and find the reaction time, but not much you can do.
No, and that's the third ball we've seen someone hit with their hand today. Annalie Waters, and then Riley, and now Federico. Even if he had made contact and put that over, the bare hand going over, no good. Had it been on his paddle, that's okay.
Ben goes one way, Federico goes the other.
Much better in the game point of game number 1. He had the exact same ball and let Ben off the hook that time. Beautiful finish with the two-handed backhand.
Talk about shape, my goodness. Federico Staksrud, that thing was so gnarly.
Just diving over the net. That thing was barely over the top of the net for 1 millimeter.
Staksrud looked to get to that kitchen line up into that point. Had beautiful contacts.
Yeah, and you can just tell his demeanor is so much more confident in this game, and obviously the scoreboard helps with that, but even his ready position on returns.
Just low enough from Ben Johns.
Yeah, and you see it, but the depth of the ball is not where you want it. It's so much shallower to the net that there's nothing you can do in the singles, especially you don't have a partner to bail you out there. So you have to go for some circus, and unfortunately for Fed, that caught the net.
Somehow Fed saved that. And the roller loose with the paddle, but finds the point.
Such a great get, because when Ben brings that hard top spin, that ball right there, to be able to scoop that up, and then so dainty with the finish there. That's nice from Fed.
6-3.
Really good game here for Staksrud so far.
Trying to cut off the angle. Instead, ball lands wide.
Yeah, the momentum of his body helped push that just a little wide, but I like that his aggression has not changed at all.
3-6. Side out.
Trying to give the extra lift needed. Not sure that hit the right part of his paddle.
No, just didn't make good, clean contact. I like this timeout from
Timeout's
Staksrud.
been called by the serve.
Serve.
6-3. Point.
And he finds one, the 7th point. And it's interesting, I feel like at times, playing men's singles, going up against Ben Johns, several maybe attack right at the feet of
7-3.
Ben Johns with the depth of the serve.
Point.
Another ball missed. So not necessarily attacking the backhand side or the forehand side, but making him have to work around the ball.
Yeah, so a body serve is a
8-3.
very big thing you do in tennis, and it is absolutely an idea, Cameron, in pickleball as well, because if someone's just a little tired or not on the balls of their feet, they suddenly have to move. They're either going to miss it, pop it up, or hit it shorter. So I like the idea of a
3-8.
body serve that you traditionally see more in tennis.
Ben looking to loop that to the line. Federico is doing a nice job staying in one location on the kitchen line, waiting patiently, and then completely attacking.
So in game 1, Federico is making the first move. In game 2, it is Ben making the first move and Federico countering, and he's doing it perfectly. Oh my.
Federico! Wild hands from Federico as he somehow finds his feet after running around this ball.
I mean, there's no way he hooked that back down the line, but he did after he had an aborted Ernie attempt. That was ridiculous. And look at this.
10-3. A game point for Federico Staksrud. Looking for the third. Not so fast. A nice cut down from Ben Johns.
Eerily similar to the women's final.
3-10. Point.
Tough serve from Ben Johns. Catches Staksrud and the paddle near the handle.
4-10. Side out.
That's a frustrated Ben Johns on the other side. Had a great look at the two-handed backhand. He's a lot more confident with it, with this paddle, but didn't make it. And second game point, if you're Staksrud, you do not want this to linger.
10-4. Side out.
And he did exactly what we talked about. Huge serve, got a short return, had too many options.
Too many options.
The computer in his head just exploded with options, and he
4-10.
pushed it well wide.
A massive step to his right for Federico Staksrud. He's also looking like he's got a nice little carve on his backhand side as well, right here.
Yeah, really nice. Might have played a ball that was wide there, but didn't want to take the chance being well ahead. And here we go again.
Ball out of bounds, as close as it gets.
3 tries to finish, hasn't been able to do it.
Side out.
And another side out for Staksrud. A 4th shot at game number 2.
Receiver at 10-4.
And a quick timeout called here.
Sorry about this. Time in. 10-4.
Firefight to close game 2. We're going 3.
Wow. Staksrud stares down Ben Johns in a wild, rare sighting in singles and then rips a backhand into the corner. Twice he called timeout. Twice it paid off. This guy's looking very good. He might be a problem, and he's like, I'm sick of you people talking about double triples. We'll see if he can spoil it after this.
To game 3 we go. So much on the line for that man right there, Ben Johns, who is looking for a triple crown. He needs this game 3 to make it happen. First point to the number 1 seed, Ben Johns, who has won 3 straight events and 5 out of the last 7 in men's singles. However, he is not the defending singles champ here in Desert Ridge. Cutting that ball down is Federico Staksrud. A year ago was JW Johnson, who took the win over Tyson McGuffin.
Yeah, Ben lost a surprising, at that time, singles match to Dylan Frazier that sent him to the back draw. He came back and got bronze.
Side out.
And all of these tournaments are leading to a finals at the end of the year, and it's the points earned in 2023. First time we're having that championships at the end of the year, so every match matters and every point you can get matters. That's invitation only based on your play at the end of the year.
So back and forth we go. I'm glad that you bring up the points each one of these events. So much at stake, not only the gold medals, but also the points earned to be able to get your way there. Also more money than ever before, a $5.5 million prize purse, the largest in pickleball history on the Carvana PPA Tour.
Yeah, that's a big finish there because Johns was in a pretty decent position to continue to pressure Staksrud.
Staksrud again slipping everywhere, and yet he continues. Unrelenting play from Staksrud, but Ben Johns, I mean, perfect placement.
I mean, this guy is all over the place. He's almost on the ground. He is giving everything he's got to try and get his first gold medal here, and that is a big battle trying to get that in 2023 as Staksrud.
It was on his paddle.
And Ben is equally as disgusted with the shot he hit as the one Staksrud. The only problem is the Staksrud miss dents the scoreboard on the other side. Ben left out way up.
A 3-0 start for Ben Johns.
And it looks like Staksrud's walking to his in singles.
And just a few misses here again. I think Ben Johns just cleaning up the little details from game number 2, now with a 5-point advantage.
Yeah, Staksrud's trying to hit backhands from below the net as opposed to above it.
And again, another miss off the paddle of Staksrud.
So we're going to switch sides here.
The Desert playing host to the second stop on the Carvana PPA Tour. The JW Marriott Desert Ridge Open is nearing a close as that man is nearing a triple crown. Cameron Irwin alongside Dave Fleming. We've been bringing you all the championship court action here on this fantastic Sunday. Federico Staksrud took a game off the #1 seed as he also takes a point. He needs to find a little bit of magic here.
Yeah, and if I'm him, I'm saying, hey, I won on this side. I'm right back where I'm comfortable. Let's go.
Side out.
Yeah, he's struggling with, from what he just said to himself, he's trying to guess, he said, with where the ball is bouncing. So having a tough time reading the ball or where this ball's going. And where that's going is off the tape and over his paddle, unfortunately for him. Verbal frustration is never good.
7-1. Side out.
And he says, all right, you've had enough of those. It's my turn to have one.
Yeah, so there, net cord. Get that one, Ben Johns.
1-7. Side out.
Ben Johns casual on the finish. But he's
so lackadaisical and just rips it hard angle.
and it looks as if Staksrud's still trying to work with the pattern where he is attacking that backhand side. On the full outstretch of Ben Johns, most of those going cross court, and he's working to try and close there. Changes the pattern in terms of the return, going to the forehand side.
Yeah, and he's hitting the ball back because of it, and Ben continues to attack the backhand side as he does right there and gets another miss.
Changes it up, and it works in his favor. Way to jump on that, Staksrud.
All set up by going big on the serve. Serves have been tremendous here from this side of the court. Got to keep pushing it there. It's a big mountain, but he can remember 11-4 from game 2 and just draw from that.
There's that cross court on the outstretched arm of Ben Johns.
Just too high as he came in. Used his momentum is going to leave the ball up, and gorgeous cross court finish from Ben.
Ben stayed to the backhand side, and he was correct.
Yeah, again, he knows that Staksrud is more dangerous on the stretch or in general with the forehand volley, so he just keeps putting it over there, and it's working. He's within 2.
Make it 1. Ben Johns, the #1 seed. In game 3, we have finally reached championship point and triple crown point. He gets a battle on it. Staksrud finding some rhythm. It's mandatory at this point.
2-10.
And it's mandatory for 10 minutes.
Gets 1. 3-10.
And that serve hit the back edge of the line. I think Ben was about to call it deep, but played through it.
3-10. Side out. Language, please.
Trying to reach that as it's a bit shallower than anticipated. Another championship point for Ben Johns.
10-3.
The double triple comes true. Ben Johns goes back-to-back alongside Annalie Waters.
Just incredible. I mean, when you talk about all of the people coming for these two and the target on their backs, and to have to play all day long in the heat in the early part of the year, and there's a high five from his brother who got a gold medal of his own earlier today. But that guy is an unbelievable player. Annalie Waters, unbelievable, and these two are going to be a force to be reckoned with all year long. If players want to know what the level they need to hit is, there it is. It's these two players, and really playing with a purpose here. They got pushed in singles. Both of them lost game 2, but just a really stunning performance from these two, and Ben is about ready to lift Hannah Johns in the air here. It's a family affair. Hannah will talk to her brother when we come back.
Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to us this Sunday. We have just finished our 5th final of the day, where Ben Johns is now being crowned as our singles champion. Ben, congratulations. Great play out there. Federico really brought it in strong in game 2. How did you dial it back in game 3, and what were you focused on doing?
Fed played a great game 2. He came out aggressive and played really well, and I wasn't really ready for that onslaught. But I really, in game 3, I thought of what my dad told me this morning, which is eye of the tiger, son. So he said, you know, go in with the eye of the tiger this whole day, and I think that's what brought me through in that 3rd game. That's what I was thinking, and I played well, and thanks, Dad.
Well, another Triple Crown this year. That's 2 in a row, but the players are getting younger, more athletic, and the field is getting wider every day. How long can you keep this up?
To be determined. I'm going to keep it up as long as I can. I'm enjoying every minute of it. I love playing this game. I love competing, and I'm really just excited for everything that's going well for pickleball. So, yeah.
Well, for all the players out there who would like to emulate your game or the other top players, what are the 3 top characteristics a male single player should have?
Definitely varies player to player. Good movement is an obvious one, which is maybe not my strong suit, but you can just use anticipation instead, which is what I try to do. So those two are kind of the same thing. Being aggressive, having an aggressive mindset really helps in singles. You can't really get by with defense like you can in doubles. Last one I'd say is mental fortitude. It's kind of like tennis singles, in that you can almost destroy yourself if you let it happen. So mentally strong is really important too.
Well, congratulations again, Ben, and we're going to bring Brian Scott from presenting sponsor Foot Solutions on court now to present that trophy. Brian.
Ben, you know the script, sir. On behalf of Foot Solutions, John Prothero, our CEO, myself, Brian Scott, Senior Vice President, we want to present to you this trophy for being this year's JW Marriott Desert Ridge Open Men's Single Champion. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, Brian.
Congrats. That's it from us on center court. Cameron, take us away.
Ben Johns holding the trophy again. Just absolutely phenomenal play from the #1 seed as he earns another Triple Crown. Eye of the Tiger was correct.
Totally. I mean, hello, Survivor fans. Crank that on Spotify later, everybody, if you want to play your best pickleball.
This one's got to feel good. Going back-to-back from the Hyundai Masters, Ben Johns and Annalie Waters finding second Triple Crowns just in this early season on 2023 of the Carvana PPA Tour. It has been a very big day. 5 total championships have now come to a conclusion. Here's a look as we started our day with the mixed pro doubles final. Ben and Annalie on the better end.
Yeah, they really came out firing, and then Kovalova and Wright slowed it down, but just couldn't finish on the key points, and part 1 of the Triple Crown was in play.
And then we moved on to women's pro doubles. It was Catherine Parento alongside Annalie Waters again against Jansen and Jones. Jones making her Sunday debut, and she did a nice job.
Oh, she acquitted herself very well. They had a great chance to take that 3rd game, and had they been able to do that, Annalie was at her most vulnerable in that particular match, but they couldn't do it, and the pedigree rose, and they took game 4.
And so you can see how the men's doubles shaped up. Then on to pro singles. On the women's side, Annalie Waters finished off her Triple Crown against Catherine Parento, who did take a game off of her and played phenomenally. Then, of course, you just witnessed Ben Johns closing out his Triple Crown against Federico Staksrud. A game dropped there as well. So, beautiful job on the final Championship Sunday here in the desert. Until the next time, it's Ben Johns holding the trophy high. They grinded and it showed incredible mental fortitude to accomplish the feat. Triple crowns to Ben Johns and Anna Lee Waters. They remain atop the pack. And coming up next for the Carvana PPA Tour, it's going to be the Carvana Arizona Grand Slam in Mesa, Arizona. That is February 16th. You're not going to want to miss it on tennischannel.com. For myself, Dave Fleming, Hannah Johns, and our entire Tennis Channel crew, thanks for joining us in the desert. We'll see you back at the kitchen line.